99.9% of women are searching for something most men never give them. That's the hidden truth. Almost nobody says out loud. Men assume women stay for money, status, or physical attraction, so they push harder at work, buy more gifts, send constant texts, and try to impress with non-stop effort. But in the end, many still hear the same heartbreaking words, "I just don't feel it anymore." If you've ever had that moment, you know how crushing it is. You gave your time, your loyalty, your energy, and yet it still wasn't enough. The reason is simple. Women don't fall for what you do. They fall for how they feel when they're with you. And what almost every woman secretly desires isn't endless attention or overexposure. It's an emotional connection, something that makes her respect you first, desire you more, and stay loyal because she feels what she cannot find anywhere else. In this video, you'll discover what that connection really looks like, why most men fail to build it, and how you can create it without neediness, without chasing, and without losing yourself. Before we dive in, tell me your name, where you're from, and what challenge you're facing in your own relationship, so I and others here can support you. And now, let's begin the journey. Number 1, escalate with playful confidence. One of the easiest ways men sabotage attraction is by mishandling escalation. They treat it like stepping onto a minefield, either holding back too much, terrified of rejection, or charging forward too aggressively, hoping to force interest. Both extremes kill the spark. What women actually respond to what they secretly want is escalation delivered with playful confidence. It feels natural, light, and fun, not pressured or desperate. Think of attraction as a small flame. Smother it with too much fuel, and it dies. Starve it completely, and it also dies. But feed it gradually, with the right mix of heat and oxygen, and it grows stronger. Emotional connection works the same way. A man who teases with confidence, who moves forward step by step while paying attention to her responses, creates that perfect flame. Consider Daniel, a 50-year-old architect, and Sophia, a 46-year-old consultant. They first met at a mutual friend's dinner party. On their early dates, Daniel didn't sit quietly like a stranger, nor did he bury Sophia under flattery. He kept things playful. When Sophia joked about his serious face, Daniel laughed and replied, "Someone has to balance your mischievous energy." The banter made her laugh, and when she brushed his shoulder while smiling, Daniel let the moment breathe before casually touching her hand as he told another story. It wasn't forced. It flowed. What set Daniel apart wasn't the physical gesture itself. It was his relaxed tone, his calm energy, and the ease with which he moved the interaction forward. He didn't wait for her permission, nor did he chase her approval. He led the interaction with quiet confidence, while always leaving space for her to meet him halfway. Women crave this balance because it shows two rare traits at once: self-assurance and emotional awareness. Self-assurance tells her you're comfortable in your own skin. Emotional awareness shows that you can read the moment and aren't blind to her signals. Together, they build trust. And once trust is established, attraction deepens naturally. Escalation is not only about moving from handshake to hug or hug to kiss. It's in the way you hold eye contact a moment longer, The way you let silence stretch to build tension. The way a playful tease turns into shared laughter. These micro-escalations stack up until the connection feels natural. Inevitable. When you do it right, she doesn't feel you're forcing anything. She feels drawn into a rhythm that excites her, keeps her curious, and leaves her wanting more. That's why playful confidence is magnetic. It doesn't shout, "I need you." It whispers, "I enjoy this moment. And I know you do too." By their third meeting, Sophia admitted she hadn't felt this kind of excitement in years. Not because Daniel was the richest or the best-looking man she'd met, but because he made her feel alive, safe, and engaged all at once. His playful confidence kept her on edge in the best way, without ever pushing too hard. The lesson is simple: escalate with confidence, but keep it light. Show her you're willing to move forward, but always give her space to join you. That's how you build attraction and lay the foundation for the emotional connection she truly desires. Comment: I lead playfully. Number 2, pace. The attraction. Don't rush the process. Many men don't ruin attraction because they lack interest. They ruin it because they push too quickly. They overwhelm her with texts, spill their emotions too soon, or try to accelerate physical intimacy as though love were a race to the finish line. The irony is, the harder you push, the faster she pulls away. Why? Because genuine attraction doesn't arrive in one flood. It rises and falls in waves. To pace the attraction means to let the connection breathe. It's about creating rhythm moments of closeness, balanced with moments of space, so that she feels both secure and curious. When you give her room to miss you, when you avoid drowning her with constant presence, the flame of desire grows steadier and stronger. Here is where Stoic wisdom offers timeless guidance. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Time is a sort of river of passing events, and strong is its current. You cannot command the river to slow down or speed up. All you can do is move with it wisely." Attraction works the same way. You cannot force her feelings to appear overnight. You can only align yourself with the natural rhythm of emotional growth. When you respect that rhythm, you appear patient, grounded, and in control. When you ignore it, you look needy, insecure, or disperate. There's a huge difference between texting her 10 times a day and waiting until you have something real to share. The first screams insecurity. The second communicates purpose. Think also about intimacy. Rushing toward it immediately kills mystery. Allowing tension to build slowly keeps her intrigued, leaning in, and wondering what's next. Pacing also means accepting that emotional connection isn't linear. Some days she'll seem fully engaged. Other days she'll step back. That's natural. The mistake most men make is to chase harder during those dips. The wiser choice is to stay steady, trusting the rhythm to even out. When you resist the urge to panic, you show her you're not a man ruled by mood swings or impatience. You're a man anchored in self-mastery. And women respect men who can balance desire with restraint. Often, it's the pauses, the silence that pull her closer. Just as music is made not only of notes, but also of spaces. Attraction grows from both interaction and anticipation. This isn't about playing games. It's about aligning with reality. You don't smother her with attention, and you don't disappear out of fear. You hold a steady pace clear, confident, never frantic. Here's the truth. Women secretly desire a man who doesn't rush because he doesn't need to. A man who paces attraction shows that he values himself and his time. He isn't chasing approval, he's building something real. And that calm patience, that refusal to hurry, is intoxicating. So remember, rivers flow at their own pace, and lasting attraction always moves with the current, never against it. It is paced, nurtured, and allowed to unfold naturally. Comment: I move steady. Number 3. Integrity makes her respect you. Attraction may capture her attention at first, but it is respect that makes her stay, and nothing builds respect faster or destroys it quicker than integrity. Integrity means your words and actions match. It means you live by your values and refuse to bend simply because she tests your boundaries. A woman may admire your confidence or enjoy your charm, but if she senses weakness in your word, the entire foundation begins to crumble. Consider Thomas, a 47-year-old entrepreneur who started dating Claire, a 44-year-old doctor. Early on, Claire asked him to cancel a weekend trip with his brother so he could spend more time with her. Thomas cared for her, but he calmly replied, "I'll see you on Sunday instead. Saturday, I promised my brother, and I intend to keep that promise." In the moment, Claire wasn't thrilled, but over time, something shifted. She began to respect him more deeply. Why? Because his words aligned with his actions. He didn't fold under short-term pressure. This is the essence of integrity, consistency. When your behavior matches your values, she feels secure because she knows she can trust what you say. And trust is the soil where real emotional connection grows. Now, integrity does not mean being rigid or stubborn for its own sake. It means you stay true to your principles even when it's inconvenient. You don't lie to avoid conflict. You don't make promises you cannot keep. You don't sacrifice your standards just to please her in the moment. Integrity is about alignment between what you believe, what you say, and how you act. Women notice the small cracks, the message you never follow through on, the excuse you repeat, the goals you talk about but never act upon. Each inconsistency chips away at her respect, but each moment of steadiness reinforces it. Even if she disagrees with your choice, a man who only tries to please will never hold her long-term interest, but a man who lives with integrity earns both her admiration and her desire. Here's the paradox. Saying no when it matters often makes her lean closer, not further away, because she realizes you have a backbone, and respect is far more attractive than compliance. Comment: I stand firm. Number 4, mystery keeps her craving more. Here's a truth. Most men overlook women, don't want every detail about you revealed in the first date, the first week, or even the first month. Mystery isn't about playing tricks, it's about pacing how much of yourself you reveal. Think of it like turning the pages of a book. If she already knows the ending, there's no reason to keep reading. But when you reveal layer by layer, she stays curious, engaged, and invested. Attraction grows not from full exposure, but from discovery. When you give away your past, your dreams, and your routines all at once, you remove tension. Nothing is left to explore. But when you hold back just enough, When you allow her to feel she's unlocking you piece by piece, her curiosity sharpens. That curiosity fuels her desire to know you more deeply. The Stoics understood the strength of restraint. Epictetus once wrote, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Applied here, it means you don't need to justify yourself or explain everything you do. Silence, uncertainty, and selectivity signal strength. They tell her, you're a man with depth, a man who doesn't need validation through constant disclosure. Mystery is not deception, it's discipline. It's choosing to reveal your life in chapters, not in spoilers. Maybe she notices a passion of yours, but you don't explain it fully right away. Maybe she asks about your weekend, and instead of narrating every detail, you keep it simple, leaving space for her imagination. When you embody mystery, she leans in, she asks more questions, pays closer attention, and values every piece of information because it feels earned. Without mystery, attraction feels flat. With it, even small gestures, a glance, a pause, a smile become charged with meaning. That uncertainty is magnetic. Being mysterious doesn't mean being distant, nor does it mean withholding forever. It means letting her earn access to your depth. It means living with enough purpose that parts of you remain naturally hidden, revealed only to those who stay close long enough. A man who doesn't rush to be fully known is a man who understands his worth. And that kind of man is the one women crave. Respect. And remember, comment, I keep mystery. Number 5. Most men think passion is all about physical attraction. Most men assume passion is built only on physical attraction. They train hard in the gym, upgrade their wardrobe, and polish their charm. And yes, those things can spark desire, but desire by itself is fragile. It flares quickly and fades just as fast. What almost no one explains is that passion only endures when raw desire is fused with emotional connection. That union is what makes a woman feel alive in your presence and keeps her thinking about you even when you're not around. Let's break this down clearly. Desire without connection is shallow. It excites her body, but it never touches her heart or her mind. She may enjoy the spark, but she won't stay invested. Connection without desire, on the other hand, feels safe but flat. It places you in the good friend category instead of the man she longs for. True passion ignites when the two work together, physical attraction and emotional resonance. Consider Daniel, a 49-year-old consultant, and Julia, a 46-year-old writer. They met through a professional networking event. Yes, there was instant chemistry. But what pulled Julia closer wasn't just Daniel's presence, it was how he engaged with her beyond small talk. When she shared the stress of deadlines and family obligations, Daniel didn't interrupt or offer quick fixes. He listened, asked thoughtful questions, and added insights from his own experiences. That mixed desire in his eyes and understanding in his words created a spark that grew stronger with time. By the second month, Julia admitted to a friend, "He makes me feel seen, not just admired." That makes the attraction impossible to ignore. This is the key most men miss. Physical desire may catch her eye, but emotional connection multiplies its effect. Desire speaks to her body, but connection speaks to her soul. Together, they form a loop. The more connected she feels, the more she craves intimacy, the more desire she senses, the more she seeks deeper connection. This loop doesn't just create moments of passion, it creates lasting momentum. Where do men fail? They either push desire too aggressively, rushing intimacy, or they lean so heavily on connection that they erase tension and slip into the friend zone. The solution is balance. Show your attraction without apology, but also reveal that you value her mind, her insights, her perspective. Touch her hand, yes, but also ask her opinion and truly listen. That balance is addictive. It's why she doesn't just want to spend time with you, she wants to remain in your life. Passion isn't about intensity at the start. It's about weaving desire and connection together, so attraction deepens with time. When you master this, you stop being just a pleasant memory. You become unforgettable. Comment, I spark passion. Number 6. The 7 deadly mistakes men make. If passion dépend en balance. Then, failure comes when a man leans too far to one side. Most men don't lose a woman because they lack money, status, or looks. They lose her because they keep repeating the same predictable mistakes that quietly suffocate attraction. These errors don't just push her away. They signal to her subconscious that you are not the man capable of giving her the emotional connection she craves. Let's walk through these 7 traps. Mistake 1: neediness. Constant text, long explanations, and endless requests for reassurance reveal that your sense of worth depends on her approval. Mistake 2: rushing intimacy. Pushing for closeness too soon destroys mystery. Instead of feeling desired, she feels pressured. Mistake 3: overgiving. Believing that gifts, favors, or relentless effort will secure her love. Women don't fall for what you do, they fall for how they feel when they're with you. Mistake 4: ignoring boundaries. Always saying yes, breaking your own word, or bending too much for her comfort erodes respect. Mistake 5: emotional instability. Snapping when she pulls back, losing control when tested, or reacting with anger rather than composure reveals weakness. Mistake 6: talking without listening. Dominating the conversation while giving her no space to open up prevents the emotional depth she longs for. Mistake 7: living without purpose. When you have no mission beyond her, you lose the magnetic presence that makes her see you as a leader. Here's the key. All 7 mistakes point back to one root cause: a lack of self-mastery. And this is exactly where Stoicism shines. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." A woman senses instantly whether you are ruled by impulse, fear, or the hunger for approval. On the other hand, when you master yourself, your pace, your emotions, your discipline, you naturally avoid these traps. Think about it. If you're not needy, she has space to miss you. If you don't rush, attraction grows naturally. If you don't overgive, respect stays balanced. If you protect your boundaries, you earn hers. If you stay calm in storms, you radiate strength. If you listen as much as you speak, she feels understood. If you live with purpose, she sees you as a man worth following. The beauty is this: avoiding mistakes doesn't require tricks or manipulation. It requires discipline, patience, and integrity. When you embody these traits, you stop being one of the many who fall into the same traps, and you become the rare man who pulls her closer without even trying. So remember, women don't leave because you failed to do enough. They leave because you did too much of the wrong things. Master yourself. Avoid these 7 deadly mistakes. And you unlock the kind of connection almost every woman secretly desires. Comment, I master myself. Number 7. Leave emotional anchors in her mind. Why do some men remain unforgettable while others fade quickly? The difference lies in a man's ability to create emotional anchors. These aren't just memories of what you did together. They're the emotions she experiences when she thinks of you. When a woman replays a moment over and over, when her heart stirs at the thought of you, that's an anchor. It can be as subtle as the calm tone of your voice when she was anxious, the warmth in your eyes during silence, or the way you respected her boundaries while still radiating desire. These anchors last because they reach her emotions, not just her logic. Let's look at an example. Anthony, a 51-year-old project manager, began dating Claire, a 48-year-old designer who had been single for years. Anthony wasn't flashy. He didn't try to impress her with expensive gifts or loud gestures. Instead, he paid attention. One evening, Claire mentioned how much she missed playing the piano, something she hadn't touched in over a decade. 2 weeks later, Anthony surprised her by taking her to a small jazz lounge and encouraging her to sit at the piano for a few minutes. She laughed nervously, but played anyway. That night etched itself into her memory, not because of the piano, but because she felt seen, valued, and encouraged. That's the essence of an emotional anchor. It doesn't require extravagance. In fact, the smaller and more authentic the moment, the deeper it cuts. A compliment offered at the right time, silence held with confidence, or a thoughtful gesture when she least expects it. All of these plant seeds in her memory, and seeds grow. The key is consistency. You don't force anchors, you live with presence, with awareness, and the anchors form naturally. This is where many men stumble. They chase grand gestures, thinking bigger always means better, but miss the subtle moments that truly matter. The truth is, women don't remember every dinner or gift. They remember how a man made them feel in those moments. If she felt safe, noticed, and desired, that impression lingers far longer than any material effort. And the beauty is that anchors work even in your absence. When you're not texting or calling, her mind replays those moments. She associates you with curiosity, comfort, excitement, or intimacy, and emotions stick when effort fades. So here's the lesson. Leaving emotional anchors doesn't require manipulation. It requires presence. It requires listening, noticing, and responding in ways that touch her feelings, not just her thoughts. When you master this, you don't just stay in her life. You stay in her mind and her heart long after you've left the room. Comment, I leave marks. Number 8, use silence to make her miss you. Most men are terrified of silence. They assume if they don't keep calling, texting, or entertaining her non-stop, her interest will vanish. But the truth is far different. Silence, when used with confidence, is one of the most powerful forces you can employ. It makes her feel your presence even when you're not around. Why is silence so magnetic? Because it creates space. It gives her room to reflect on you, to wonder about what you're doing, and most importantly, to start missing you. When you flood her with constant attention, there is no anticipation. Every question is answered right away. Every gap is filled. Every moment is smothered with noise. That doesn't build desire, it kills it through overexposure. But when you step back, just enough, something different happens. She feels curiosity. She wonders why you're not chasing her like the rest. She asks herself why she's thinking about you more when you're silent than when you're speaking. That wondering is the spark of longing. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Silence is not weakness. It is calm, strength, discipline in action. The refusal to be ruled by impulse. The choice to withhold instead of overindulge. When you practice silence, you're communicating something powerful without words, that you are not desperate, that you don't need her constant replies to validate your worth, that you are in control of yourself, and control is inherently attractive. Now, let's clear up a common misconception. Silence is not ghosting. It's not ignoring her, punishing her, or playing childish games. It's about letting moments breathe. It's about not rushing to fill every pause with empty chatter. It's about not panicking if she takes her time to respond. When silence is intentional, it transforms interactions. Each one gains weight. A single text after a day of silence feels far more meaningful than 10 texts fired off in an hour. A glance across the room after giving her space feels electric. A touch after restraint carries an intensity words can't capture. Here's the paradox: by saying less, you actually communicate more. You tell her your time is valuable. You signal that you are not afraid of space. You project certainty that she will think of you even in your absence. And often, that belief becomes reality because you gave her the room to. Most men misunderstand women. They assume women crave constant attention. But what women truly crave is emotional tension, the delicate balance between closeness and distance. Too much attention suffocates tension. Too little destroys connection. But silence, used wisely, maintains both. So remember, this silence is not empty. It is full of meaning, full of strength, full of the emotional charge that keeps her coming back for more. When you master silence, you don't chase her thoughts, you occupy them. Comment, I master silence. Number 9. Secrets and inside jokes build intimacy. True intimacy doesn't always come from grand declarations or dramatic gestures. More often, it's born in the small, quiet moments, the subtle exchanges that only you and she share. Every lasting relationship develops its own private language. These little secrets and inside jokes may seem trivial to outsiders, but to the two of you, they become powerful, emotional glue. Why are they so impactful? Because they create a world within a world. When you share something that no one else understands, it binds her to you in a way that is nearly impossible to replicate with another man. It might be a playful nickname, a silly phrase that appeared in a conversation, or a random observation that becomes your thing. Each time it resurfaces, it doesn't just bring laughter, it revives the memory of belonging to something exclusive. A bond only the two of you possess. Let's take an example. Daniel, Wushasi, an engineer, started dating Olivia, Sushijo, a writer. On one of their first dinners, Daniel made a dry, sarcastic comment right as the waiter spilled a glass of water. Olivia smirked and whispered, "Even the universe can't handle your jokes." They both laughed. And from that moment, whenever something clumsy happened, she'd grin and say, "See the universe again," to anyone else. It was meaningless, but to them, it became their private code, a spark of connection that no one else could touch. Months later, Olivia admitted that those little moments, their secret language, bonded her to Daniel more than any bouquet of flowers or expensive gift ever could. That's the power of inside jokes. They carry exclusivity. They send a silent message. We have something the world doesn't. And that sense of exclusivity is one of the strongest drivers of intimacy. Secrets work in a similar way. Not the life-altering confessions or manipulative games, but the small details you choose to share selectively. Maybe you reveal a hobby you rarely mention, or a childhood memory that shaped who you are. By offering her access to this inner world, you're giving her trust. And trust deepens emotional connection faster than any grand display. Here's the key: intimacy thrives on shared meaning. When she laughs at your inside joke, she isn't just laughing at words, she's laughing at the memory. The feeling of being in on something that belongs only to the two of you. When she carries your secret, she feels chosen, like she's part of your inner circle in a way others aren't. That sense of being chosen is magnetic. This is where most men go wrong. They assume attraction is fueled only by physical chemistry. But what truly keeps her thinking about you late at night isn't just your appearance. It's the way you made her feel, like the two of you were playing a private game no one else could join. So here's the truth. If you want to build lasting intimacy, don't chase grand gestures. Create small, private threads of connection. Give her those moments, those secret sparks she can carry in her heart. Because when you do, you don't just create attraction, you create something unforgettable. Comment, I build intimacy. Number 10, purpose makes you unforgettable. Here's a truth that cannot be ignored. No matter how attractive you are, how smooth your words, or how powerful your presence, nothing leaves a deeper mark on a woman than a man who lives with purpose. Purpose is the ultimate magnet. It shows her you're not drifting aimlessly, waiting for life or for her to give you meaning. You're guided by something greater than the moment, something that commands respect and naturally earns admiration. Women may enjoy attention, but they don't crave men who live only for them. They are drawn to men who live for something beyond them. Why is this so compelling? Because a man with purpose radiates certainty. His actions carry weight. His silence carries meaning. His presence feels rare, valuable, and complete. He doesn't ask her to complete his world. He invites her into one already rich with direction. History proves this point. The men we remember most weren't celebrated merely for their looks or charm. They were remembered because they stood for something, because their lives reflected conviction. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, held unimaginable power, yet carried it with humility and wisdom. In his meditations, he didn't write to impress others, he wrote to remind himself of his duty. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. That is purpose. Purpose is not performance. It's alignment between belief and action. From a psychological view, it creates stability. And stability is magnetic, especially in a world full of chaos. A woman instinctively looks for a man who can serve as an anchor. When she sees that you have a mission, whether in your work, your family, your craft, or your personal growth, she feels pulled into that stability. She feels elevated simply by being near you. That is intoxicating. Purpose also shields you from traps that destroy attraction. Without purpose, you're more likely to become needy, reactive, or consumed by the chase for her validation. With purpose, you're grounded. Your energy is already invested in building something lasting. That independence makes her respect you more, not less. Think of it this way. Attraction without purpose is a spark. It flashes. It excites. And then it dies. Attraction with purpose is a steady flame. It burns consistently, fueled by direction and conviction. Your worth isn't tied to her reactions, her mood, or her presence. It is anchored in your character and your mission. This doesn't mean you neglect her. It means you invite her to join your journey without making her the center of it. It transforms the question from, will she stay interested, to, can she keep up with me? And that shift alone makes you unforgettable. The less you make her your universe, the more she'll want to be part of it. When you live with purpose, you don't just attract her, you inspire her. And admiration, not désir alone, is the foundation of lasting loyalty. Comment, I live with purpose. If today's message sparked something within you, show your support by liking this video, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss the lessons that can shift your mindset and reshape your life. Remember, we don't chase, we lead, we grow, and we rise together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.